Hello again, students, and welcome back to my EMF channel. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 13's Exercise 56. Now, if you checked out my previous video, we were doing lines that were formed by these constant functions. Now we've got linear functions. Now, these linear functions are all going to be defined as something that passed through the origin and then some other point. They're not going to be horizontal lines. As we're going to do G, we can see that it says domain is going to be all real numbers. Okay, so it's going to be a line with arrowheads. But then it says G of x is -3 times x. So to find that second point, all these are going to, by the way, pass through the origin like that. To find that second point, though, we're going to take a point somewhere along the 1. As you can see, I've got a number of these here. But what I really want is a value, or the ordered pair, I mean to say, that's passing through 1, -3. Because indeed, if I replace 1, or I'm sorry, if I replace the x with a 1, -3 times 1 is in fact -3. So my purple line here is in fact going to be the graph of G of x. And every point along that line is going to be a correct ordered pair. So if I go to where x is 2, I should get an output of -6, and indeed that's somewhere down in here. But yeah, so I've got a good correct line there. If it's a graph like, let's go with, let's take a look at J. That's a good one, because that one, the domain is from 1 to infinity. So for this one, if you take a look at some value, 1 times the square root of 5, yikes. I can't sit there and put a dot anywhere. It just wants to keep putting all these integer points. So gosh, I sure don't want those points on there. Let's see. So I'm just going to drag them off screen. So instead, what I'll do is I'm going to type in 1, comma, and then remember how to do your real number codes. You got to do backslash and then SQRT, and in braces now we're going to put 5 for square root of 5. I still got to wrap it up in parentheses. So I should have a nice ordered pair at 1 comma the square root of 5. Yeah, that should do it. That's what I had to do. I click on add, and there's that point. Great. So now, of course, you may be tempted to put the second dot right there at the origin, and I would not blame you. And that is going to be a line of, that is going to be a line of the square root of 5 times x. The only catch is the domain actually just goes from 1 to infinity. So what you can do with that, of course, is simply find another point along this line. Whoops, see, that just moved it, didn't it? Darn. So that's not going to be as easy here, is it? Well, all that really means for you to do is try getting rid of, here we go. Try getting rid of one of these points. Actually, let's get rid of them both. And we'll try it again. And we'll put 1 comma the square root, again with the real number codes, SQRT, and we'll go with those braces again with the 5. That's great. And I hit add, and there we go. So I know I can put another number if I could just go with a, say something starts with a 2. Well, if it's 2 times the square root of 5, I can actually put that in right now by putting in 2, and then that backslash SQRT, the square root of 5, like that, complete it, and parenthesis, and add. And now I've got those points. Now, again though, because the domain is just for 1 to infinity, I want to tap on, I want to say endpoint included, like so, and no, I don't want endpoint included on that. Actually, that's fine. So I'm just going to click away, and that will be good enough. I don't want, I'm just going to say point on a line or curve, and that's fine. So If you ever have to click out of that, just click on, hey, this is just a point on a line. Never mind, I didn't mean to make it an endpoint. I don't want it to be an endpoint because this thing goes on to infinity as described by the domain of J. 1 to infinity. Okay, I'll leave the remaining 3 for you to try on your own. Thank you for checking out my video. Be sure to subscribe and smash that like button.